Was the woman who helped create some of pop culture's wildest stage looks really about to step into everyday fashion? For years, Natali Germanotta stayed mostly out of sight, designing dramatic costumes, building worlds for the stage, and letting someone else stand under the lights. Now, she has made a move that almost no one saw coming. A ready-to-wear fashion label, a physical store in Las Vegas, and a debut moment that placed her name front and center, not as a sister, but as a designer in her own right. Stay until the end, because this shift was not just about clothes. It was about timing, identity, and a quiet decision that changed how Natali Germanotta shows up in the fashion world. The story starts far from runways and press releases. Natali Germanotta grew up surrounded by music, art, and performance. Natali and her older sister Stefani Germanotta grew up together on the Upper West Side of Manhattan in a close-knit Catholic family. Their parents, Cynthia and Joseph Germanotta, raised both girls with strong values around hard work, creativity, and self-expression in a busy city environment. Lady Gaga, born in 1986, began playing piano by age 4 and pursued music and performance throughout her childhood, attending a private Catholic school and performing at open mic nights as a teenager. Her early passion for the arts created an atmosphere where artistic pursuits were not only accepted but encouraged. Natali, 6 years younger, followed her own creative path, attending the same Catholic school before studying fashion at New York's Parsons School of Design. Even in her teen years, Natali was noted for forging an independent identity, focusing on fashion studies and design rather than adopting her sister's dramatic public persona. Parsons School of Design is one of the most respected design schools in the world, but instead of chasing fame early, she chose a different path. She built skills behind the scenes, learning how clothing moves, stretches, shines, and survives under stage lights. For years, her work lived on bodies that millions recognized, even if they did not know her name. She designed elaborate costumes for her older sister, Lady Gaga, helping shape visual moments that became part of pop history. These were not everyday clothes. They were bold, theatrical, and often extreme. They were meant to be seen from far away and remembered forever. So here comes the first quiet question. Why would someone so deeply rooted in spectacle suddenly move towards simplicity? The answer did not arrive all at once. It arrived slowly, through years of constant creation. Natali ran her own design house, Topo Studio, out of New York City. She worked on projects that demanded precision, imagination, and technical skill. Over time, something shifted. The desire to create did not fade, but the focus began to change. Instead of designing only for the stage, she began thinking about people, real people, daily lives, how fabric feels when it is worn, not just when it is seen. That curiosity sat quietly for years. Then, in July 2025, she made a move that raised eyebrows in the fashion world. Alongside her husband, Alexander Dolan, she opened a physical costume supply store in Las Vegas called On-Stage Essentials. Las Vegas is a city built on performance. Showgirls, dancers, drag performers, and entertainers work there every night. Yet, despite all that glamour, there was a problem. Designers often struggled to find professional costume supplies locally. Many had to order materials from other cities, losing time and money. Natali and Dolan saw the gap. Instead of launching another fashion line or chasing headlines, they opened a store that solved a real problem. On-Stage Essentials stocked materials needed for showgirl aesthetics and stage design. It served professionals and amateurs alike. This move surprised people for a different reason. It was not flashy. It was practical. Why would a designer known for high-fashion costumes invest in a supply store? Because it showed how she thinks. She does not design only for attention. She designs for function, need, and community. On-Stage Essentials was not about being seen. It was about being useful. But the biggest surprise was still coming. In November 2025, Natali stepped into a new role. She debuted at the inaugural Vegas Fashion Week. For the first time, she was not just the designer behind someone else's moment. She was the moment. This marked a shift, not just professionally, but publicly. After years of being described as Lady Gaga's sister or a behind-the-scenes creative, Natali Germanotta began stepping into her own spotlight. Then, in December 2025, the unexpected became official. Natali Germanotta and her husband Alexander Dolan launched a ready-to-wear fashion label called Natali Alexander. The name itself said a lot. It combined both of their names. This was not a side project. It was a shared vision. The first release was not a full collection. It was one piece, a limited edition silk scarf. Only 350 scarves were made. That choice raised another question. Why start with a scarf? The answer was simple and thoughtful. A scarf is versatile. It does not belong to one gender, one body type, or one age. It can be worn many ways. It can live on the neck, the head, a bag, or even as decor. It is inclusive by nature. The scarf was named the Lumina Scarf, and it was anything but basic. According to Germanotta, the inspiration came from a tension between light and dark. The colors moved between neutral and vivid tones. The design looked symmetrical at first glance, but, on closer inspection, no two pieces were exactly the same. Each scarf told a slightly different story. The pattern was described as stained glass-like, with every line, color shift, and texture varying subtly. Even the numbering mattered. Each Lumina scarf was stamped with a number from 1 to 350, emphasizing its rarity. Natali kept number 13. That number carried personal meaning. It marked the number of years she and Dolan had been together. In a world driven by fast fashion and mass production, this detail felt deeply intentional. Another question quietly followed. Was this still costume design, or was it something new? The answer became clearer through the brand's philosophy. Natali Alexander is not about performance wear. It is about everyday expression. The brand is described as androgynous, rich in texture, and focused on curated details. The pieces are meant to be lived in, not just looked at. Germanotta has spoken about wanting people to see variation within the same color, across different materials like leather, satin, and lace. She has talked about hidden features, unique buttons, and thoughtful construction. These are the kinds of details noticed over time, not on first glance. This is where her background matters most. Years of costume design taught her how clothing behaves, how fabric moves with the body, how texture catches light, how structure supports performance. At a time when many designers rush to meet seasonal cycles, Natali Alexander is choosing patience. Germanotta and Dolan have shared that they do not want to release pieces just for the sake of releasing something new. They want items to be shared when they are ready. That mindset goes against much of the fashion industry. So here is the deeper question. Is this move really unexpected, or was it always coming? Looking back, the signs were there. A formal education at Parsons, years of hands-on design work, running a studio, opening a supply store that serves creatives. Each step built toward independence. The difference now is visibility. When Lady Gaga shared the scarf launch on Instagram on December 28, the response was immediate. Traffic flooded the Natali Alexander website. But even then, the spotlight felt different. This was not a borrowed moment. It was support, not substitution. Natali has described the experience of launching her first piece as vulnerable. Showing something personal to the world always is. But she also described it as healing. That word matters. After years of creating for others, she created something for herself. The final realization lands quietly but firmly. Natali Germanotta did not abandon her past. She refined it. She moved from stage to street, from spectacle to subtlety, from behind the scenes to center frame. Not by chasing attention, but by choosing intention. And now, with a scarf that looks symmetrical until you look closer, a store that serves unseen artists, and a label built on patience, her fashion story has only just begun. The most unexpected part was never the launch. It was how long she waited before stepping forward. If this made you see Natali Germanotta in a new way, take a second to hit like. It helps more than you think. Subscribe for more deep dives into fashion moves that quietly change the industry, and turn on notifications so the next one does not slip past. Share this with someone who loves design beyond the spotlight, because some of the most interesting shifts happen when no one is watching.